Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Great to be here at RIU Explorers. It's my first time on the stage, despite attending for many years. And I have hopefully a very interesting story for you today about rare earths, following on a little bit from that presentation by Hastings. We have highly prospective ground in Western Australia and also in Canada. And we've recently invested into what we think is a highly complementary processing technology that we'll be pushing forward with as well. Obligatory disclaimers. Now, to touch on something that Tony Rivera said at the awards presentation earlier this morning, it's important for a company to have a vision, and I might admit an enthusiastic IR consultancy working with you. Our vision is really to deliver critical minerals, and in our case we're focusing on rare earths, and we're talking directly to the world's major markets, and we want to do that economically, obviously, and sustainably. To do that, we're going to try to build a big inventory of rare earths. We're doing that through exploration directly, and I'm a geologist and I love nothing more than discovery. As I said, we're also looking at this new processing technology. That is something that will help us unlock, we hope, a number of other more unconventional rare earth resources and get involved into some high value opportunities that a new technology can unlock. Ultimately, it's about delivering a sustainable and safe supply of commodities that are in demand to support that energy transition. And I'm sure that's going to be a theme of multiple companies over the next few days. So what was our new acquisition? It was the acquisition of a company called Flash Metals. That acquisition is still in progress, but we hope to finalise it very soon. MTM Critical Metals is going to acquire a series of exploration tenements up in the West Arunta. I'm sure that there's no one here who isn't aware of how hot that is as an exploration destination at the moment, on the back of the brilliant work that's been done by WA1 Resources and Encounter and a number of other players in that district. And I'll touch on that a little bit more. The technology option that we're investing into is called flash dual heating. It is an emerging recycling and processing technology for critical metals. It has emerged out of Rice University in the United States, a university that has a track record and strong credibility with respect to both the development but also the subsequent commercialisation of novel technology. The acquisition also brought with it some other projects. The key one was Mukinbudin, which is located in the wheat belt to the northeast of Perth. I'll save that one for another day. The key part of the deal is that it's largely been based around script, and we'll be working towards helping our vendors meet those performance targets as we move forward. To the West Arunta. Obviously, as I said, an exploration hotspot. There's been a substantial amount of money spent there in the last couple of years, driven by the discoveries of carbonatites, which were rich in niobium, by WA1 and more recently by Encounter. We've acquired 3 tenements that are adjacent to their ground in the West Arunta. It's a quite early stage. The West Arunta is not well explored, and hence there is a lot of exploration upside. So over the coming years, we'll be looking to commence our exploration and hopefully enjoy some of the success that the other companies in the district are enjoying. And we will, of course, follow the playbook of the exploration methodologies that they've utilised. In terms of this tech, which we see as being highly complementary to our exploration story, it is something that involves high voltage electricity being injected into a target sample on the scale of milliseconds. This process rapidly heats a sample, and it essentially breaks down the refractory metal components in those samples, which can then be recovered either from a volatile gas, or it potentially makes that material far more amenable to a traditional acid leaching type process. So what we see is an opportunity for a technology that can extract critical metals like rare earths, nickel, cobalt, lithium, from a variety of different sources. Some of them are high-value products like lithium battery recycling, or e-waste processing, which is becoming an increasing issue as our dependence on technology increases. We also see it as something that could be applied to, I guess, mineral waste streams like coal fly ash, of which there are vast amounts of material already sitting in tailings dams with known high levels of rare earth elements. Similarly, this technique may have promise in processing of bauxite residues. So there are some lower grade but very large scale mineral processing opportunities. And then of course there are numerous examples in our industry, and rare earths is a specific case where the processing of those metals requires a lot of energy and a lot of reagents. We think that if a technology has a way of shortcutting some of that process or making it more economic, then clearly it could be a game changer. So why look at this tech in addition to our conventional exploration story? Here are 8 fairly straightforward reasons. It's about having abundant resources with local supply. It's about a great payoff in terms of the ESG component of this end of the industry. We're looking to close that circular economy associated with the minerals that we're involved in, going from exploration through to classic development and mining, but ultimately into the recycling and reprocessing. As I said, we think there's an enormous amount of upside potential. This is a growth area, and it's probably something that mineral exploration companies will be looking to more and more. So what does the process look like? This is an example taken from a group called Universal Matter. Universal Matter are using the flash Joule heating technology. In their case, they're producing graphene from a carbon-based material. You can see the cycle of the flash Joule heating itself. It produces a very intense pulse of energy through the sample, which has the desired effect. It's something that obviously needs to be scaled up from a laboratory scale. Universal Matter are taking this from up to 1 tonne a day and moving beyond that. Likewise, MTM have engaged with an engineering company based out of Houston in the United States, who we will be looking to work with in order to scale up our process also to commercial or at least semi-commercial levels in the near future, and that's something to look for as we go through the next couple of months. Now, before we did this deal, we were already a rare earth company. We've doubled down. Our lead project that we acquired back in about this time last year is a project called POM in Quebec. We've just had a great explanation of what carbonatites are. This Canadian example is another of these mineralised carbonatites, in this case with rare earth and niobium mineralisation. We've secured an option to acquire 100% of this project, which is located very close to an existing world-class resource called Montviel. And in the grand tradition of exploration in the shadow of the headframe, we've continued to work on an exploration project, and I'll show you some details of that in a moment. Like so many other exploration companies, we also hold ground here in Western Australia. In this case, it's for a more clay-hosted style of rare earths, and there are a number of those in the market at the moment. We think that processing of these deposits is going to be an issue across the board, and we're hopeful that the new tech that we've invested into may well help us unlock the value of this style of mineralisation. So just at POM, very quickly, as I said, POM is a carbonatite. We're looking for a rare earth and niobium resource. Last year we undertook a drilling program during the northern summer season, unfortunately interrupted by wildfires, but nonetheless we got a job done of about 13 deep holes for 5,700 metres of diamond drilling. We were extremely excited by the results. Again, as an exploration geologist, I looked at mineralisation coming back from every hole across a very broad area, in excess of 2 square kilometres. And that tells me that we have a very large mineralised system. Grades were in the order of 0.3 to 0.4 to 0.5% over extremely broad intervals in excess of 500 metres. But most importantly, within those broad mineralised zones were grades which were indicative of a potential resource. So in essence, what POM gives us is a very large mineralised system with the potential to host a major resource at the right kind of grades, and we will be forging ahead with further exploration here with the intention of trying to make that discovery, and hopefully I can announce that at next year's conference. So here is the team, my friends and colleagues from MTM. 4 of us have been working on this company since it was listed in 2021. You probably know John Hannaford and Dave Izzard, and my CFO and Company Secretary Simon Adams. Tony Hadley is a recent addition to the board. Tony is a very experienced metallurgist, particularly in rare earths. I think he's worked on all of the projects here in Western Australia. And he's going to be invaluable in assisting us, of course, with the ongoing development and commercialisation of both our exploration discoveries and also our technology option. And a quick corporate overview. The only thing I really want to emphasise here is that MTM is in the middle of a capital raising process at the moment. We've completed tranche 1 of a share placement. We're moving ahead with tranche 2 and also a rights issue. The bottom line is that in a month or so time, the company will have about $7 million in cash, and we will have no debt, and we will have a new cohort of shareholders who are very focused on seeing the company deliver on that vision of developing our resource base and also to develop the technical tools with which to process it. So finally, I'd just like to say thanks again for attending. If you would like to have any more information, we're at booth 46. You can't miss the orange colours. And thank you again for your time this morning.